Hi everyone. In today's episode, I want to touch on the O1 visa. You know, with everything going on currently under the Trump administration, with the executive order, amendment to the executive order, specifically targeting H, L, and J visa holders and making it difficult to obtain new visas and enter the U.S., and also with everything that international F1 students are having to go through right now with the ICE guidance coming out, making online courses potentially problematic. I did want to bring up the O1. The O1 is, where available, often a really great solution. So just wanted to go over kind of some basics of the O1. I'll do a much more in-depth series on the O1 soon, but I just wanted to put this out there on everybody's radar, something that U.S. companies and individuals alike should really get more educated on. I'd written an article that appeared in Forbes on the O1 last year. I'll link to it as well. It's interesting to note that the O1 visa number are pretty low compared to H1B and other visa types. In 2018, statistics show almost 17,000 O1 visas being issued at consulates. Now, of course, that number is not exactly accurate because individuals can be inside the U.S. and can change status to O1 and maybe not go out to actually get a visa to re-enter until some later date. But at least this, anchors us a little bit. So 17,000 roughly O1s, whereas there's about 180,000 H1Bs that were issued, H1B visas that were issued that year, 75,000 L1s. So you kind of get the idea. The O1 is not really utilized that much. I think it's likely very underutilized. The focus of the O1 is really on an individual's proven ability in a specific field. So, there are various criteria, and we'll get into that in another video series. But really, the different criteria that one can use to satisfy as somebody of O1 caliber are really focused on a personal achievement. So, if one has participated on panels in your particular niche field in terms of presentations, if one has engaged in lead roles for well-renowned projects or with companies, if one has any written work out there, if one's made, original contributions to one's field, all of these are different criteria. There are more as well, but you can essentially take these different criteria and do an assessment, obviously, first, but then essentially present your case in the way that you want to. And what I mean by that is the O1 is much more of a subjective inquiry compared to visas like an H1B, which, traditionally have been focused on, certain very clear criteria. You meet them or you don't. Again, over the last few years, interpretation of certain rules has changed. But in comparison, H1B, for example, is more objective compared to an O1, where one can really make an argument based on the work that you have done. You can control the narrative much more. So I would definitely say there's more flexibility with the O1. Now, the O1 is for somebody with proven experience and achievements in the field. So it's not going to apply to everybody, but I do think it's very underutilized. Part of it might be people hear the phrase extraordinary ability thrown around with the O1, and they kind of self-select out of even getting an assessment done or kind of attempting the O1. And I think that that's a mistake. I think U.S. companies can really utilize the O1 much more than they are as well. And sometimes traditionally it is a more, kind of in-depth process to get an O1 prepared and filed compared to the traditional H1B transfer, for example. But in the times that we find ourselves in right now, everybody needs to consider all options. The O1 is a great option to consider. So I just wanted to bring that to light. Again, we'll be following up with additional videos, kind of getting into the specific criteria a little bit more. So thank you so much for listening, and I look forward to the upcoming videos. Feel free to comment, to ask any questions. Please look out for the upcoming series as well. All right. Thank you so much.